Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh Chilton. I am a Canadian photographer and I'm working for Norwegian Cruise Lines, and this is my journey. I never record intros. I record lots of outros, but never any intros, so there's an intro for me. Hi, so I'm in Nassau today. I think that's the capital of the Bahamas. Nassau is the capital of the Bahamas. Nassau, capital and largest city of the Bahamas, is one of the most important international cruise ports in the world. Many cruise ships, including those of Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, are registered out of the Bahamas because of the trade and navigational rights that they get, or some other political jargon. All cruise ships registered out of the Bahamas are required to visit Nassau, I believe, at least twice a year. And so this video is a combination of both of the two times that I visited the city, very early on in my contract and very late into my contract. So you're going to see two completely different ends of this. The first part of this being everything that happened at the beginning of my cruise ship, the mindset and where I was at, and then the change that I take place at throughout my journey and where I'm at and how I look and feel at the end of my contract. So this is going to be something worth watching. So I'm in Nassau today. I think that's the capital of the Bahamas. And I'm just walking around, strolling through the city and seeing the sights. Kind of found myself in a small part of town, but there's some hotels back there. The ship's up in front. You've probably seen footage of that already. It's cool. There was this really amazing astral phenomenon of the sun having a full rainbow all the way around it. We all came back to the ship afterwards and we're all like, "Did you see the rainbow?" and sharing photos of it. I saw a cop on a Segway, which was all around Nassau and is really funny. And it was crazy for me to see an RBC Royal Bank of Canada located in the middle of the Bahamas. Now, I did not really record much more of Nassau on my first time because I was vlogging very fast and loose at the beginning, and if you watch my early cruise vlog videos, most of the video is me talking like this, not much of the footage, because I just didn't record much. If I recall, on Nassau, I was not busy recording. I had service, so I was making phone calls to family, and I think I was texting a girl overseas, and that's what was distracting me. Doesn't matter, but later that week, we actually have some actual, ocean storm stuff going on today. It's the first I've seen the ocean's not still. It actually looks like waves and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I call an ocean view. Really cool to see. And the boat's rocking back and forth. Alright, so it's Sunday, April 30th, just doing a check-in. I'm sitting here in the crew bar, which is currently empty. We are on our way from the Bahamas. We were just in Nassau to Miami. We're in a bit of a storm right now. It's the choppiest I've ever seen the waters. Can blame the new captain. Captains switch out every 4 months. And life is pretty good. Good adventures. I don't really know what else to say at this point. And what I'm going to say is sharing with you a story that happened later that week. A very strange event to me happening as we were celebrating my roommate's birthday. Hi, it's been a minute since I recorded one of these, but I have some time, so I'm gonna do it. We're on our last 12-day Bahamas cruise, and we're gonna be moving up to Bermuda soon. Yesterday was my roommate Christoval's birthday, so we all had a party in the crew bar and danced a lot, and a lot of people were drinking. I didn't drink anything. I've been feeling really, maybe seasick, I don't know, nauseous, dizzy, having a hard time feeling the motion of the boat very acutely. Talking with lots of girls, getting used to my job, everything's pretty good. Last night was really entertaining. I've got one of the girls that seems interested in me. We were all dancing together, and me and her danced together a bit close, kind of jumping, wiggling, you know, club dancing. And there's another guy, he works in the casino, very flamboyantly gay. He's fantastic, and he can dance really well. And so it seemed like they were sort of competing over my affections. I don't know how real any of it was, but I enjoyed it for the spectacle and the show that it was, because she kept telling me to sit down and then would dance in front of me because I was a little bit nauseous and she was worried that I was getting sick. But the two of them would compete back and forth over my attention. Not quite lap dancing, but dancing and moving in suggestive ways right in front of me. And that was really entertaining. And at the end of the night, as people started to kind of leave, I got up and was dancing with both of them and was going back and forth, and very, very intimate and sexual dancing. It was very fun. Clarifying. So, there's a girl. She worked in a different department. I may or may not have mentioned her in past videos. We were dancing together in the crew bar in the club, and I started feeling really nauseous because for whatever reason in the past week, I started far more acutely feeling the boat rocking back and forth. And so we were dancing and having fun. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. I need to like rest. And she was like, oh, he's not feeling well. You're gonna sit your ass down right now. So she kept forcing me to sit down in a chair because she wanted me to be there, and she would be dancing for me and also dancing with the music and her friends and other stuff. There was a guy, very, as I said, flamboyantly gay, that worked also in a different department. He was one of the casino people, and he was into me, playfully, flirtatiously. And so he sees this girl dancing for me, and he's like, well, I'm gonna do that too. And so he would kick her out, and then he would dance. And so it became this game between the two of them competing for my attention, like a competition show or something, where he would dance and then she'd kick him out and she would dance. And this became a game as more people saw it and began watching. And so I couldn't resist the showmanship of the opportunity, and so I put aside the illness that I was feeling, and I got up and I started dancing with them. So I would go and I would dance with him, and then she would kind of butt us and separate us apart, and she'd step in and start dancing with me, again competing for the attention. And at the end of it, me and him, like arm in arm, went strolling out of the bar together with her chasing after us. And I don't know if she was actually worried that I was going back to his bedroom or if she was just participating in the show. But we got a good bunch of jeering and laughs and row from that. So I think people will be talking about this party for a while. In fact, they were. My crew, my people, different people in other departments would occasionally bring it up because it's hard to tell what's real and what's narrative, and nothing happened between any of us at any point. But it was just like you would see on a dance competition where you have people that are telling a narrative, they're telling a story through dance, this story of kind of like a love triangle and the complications that come in that. And that's what it felt like to me, and what I was participating in is I was performing and telling a story for an audience of the people at the club. And it became an audience and a big show with everyone standing back against the walls and us having this dance in the middle. It was one of the most exciting experiences of my life. And as somebody who values experience above and beyond everything else, I will always remember this, which is why I'm including it in this video. These videos are documentational so that I can remember the adventures and exploits of my time on a cruise ship. And this was something that was really important to me early on, to have this exciting moment and be in the spotlight within my first month on board. But it's just fantastic. I don't go to parties, I don't do any of this stuff, and so it's such a new and exciting and vibrant experience for me. I'm loving everything about being on the ship. My voice is strained because I'm shouting at people, take some photos with us, constantly. And I'm starting to get better at my jobs and make more money. I don't care about the money, but I care about supporting my team. And my roommate is getting married, and other team members are looking to move or build a house or start a family or have a second child. So me being successful and proficient or prolific at my job is going to be beneficial for the whole team, because when I make money, everyone makes money. And And although I don't care about my financial needs right now, I do care about my team and supporting them. So if I can make money for everybody, it's a good thing. And this remained as my stance throughout the entire journey. It was something my manager said to me early on because I wasn't on the cruise ship. A lot of people work on cruise lines because they're able to make so much more money than they would minimum wage working a job in their countries. I'm very beneficial to be from a wealthier country like Canada, where my minimum wage is $15 an hour. That's nowhere near livable in the country that I'm from, but it's decent money when you're comparing that to $15 an hour Canadian if you were living in the Philippines. So working on the cruise ship, I was here for experience, not for money. And my manager told me, you are not just working for you. You are a member of this team. And exactly what I said, my roommate's getting married. One of my friends was building a house or having a second child. And so much of my life became not working for me, but working as hard and being as good as I possibly can to support these people that meant so much for me. And later on, it just became me being the best that I could and making the most money in this rivalry between me and Cristobal as Belgian horses, one-upping and trying to push each other to the point where I eventually became one of and eventually the top earning member of my entire team. And then of course near the end, it was just getting by and getting through to the next day and having it all be over because I was exhausted at the end. I just woke up an hour early because we had an hour back, so I've lost an hour of sleep. But that means it's an hour for me to do other things. So I've got to go to the crew mess here, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to write out some receipts because I'm working in the dining room again tonight. But otherwise, life is really good. We are on week 5 for me now. It's, what frickin' day is it? It's Tuesday, March 2nd. I should have introed that day. Hi guys, it's Tuesday, March 2nd, and I'm here today recording another vlog segment. Anyway, I'll see you later. What the fuck is this?
Ice cream.
Did you take a bite of that? Did you bite this cone?
Yeah. Actually, it's just a hat for the cone. It's a hat.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's a hat.
What is this mess?
It's a hat.
Why have you done this?
Okay, can you ask me either why I have a cake, I have pizza, I have pasta, I have rice, I have ice cream, I have a hat for a cone? What are you asking?
Because it's delicious. And now we have a 4-month time jump into the future. Say hello to late cruise Josh. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, August 24th. We are here in Nassau today. I am here with the beautiful Carolina. We're gonna walk around for about half an hour here because that is all the time I have. We got into port really late today, so we started our shift at 12 o'clock, but we still have the normal setup at 4. We have some really impressive ships behind us here. Carnival Conquest, of course, the Norwegian Joy, and the brand new Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas. So it's always cool to see ships lined up here in Nassau. I will flash back to all of the ships that were lined up the last time we were here. I think there was Disney and I don't know, one of the other celebrity, maybe another line all lined up here. Today we had some interesting news. It is the first time that we had a change of itinerary on my contract. We were supposed to be going to Bermuda for 2 days overnight, kind of continuing the trend that we have been for the last few months. But there's a tropical storm in the area, so we are now staying in Nassau overnight. Then we are going to our private island, GSC, to Miami, and then a sea day to New York. But I am IPM tomorrow, which means that I cannot go out. So even though we are in Nassau for another day and the opportunity for me to explore and buy things, I cannot do anything in port. So I guess I stay on the ship and sleep. But we're going to enjoy the day that we have together here. I will keep you posted. Maybe, or maybe this is the only clip we see for today. We'll find out. Whoa, look at him. Wow. Look, he's going to go back in the water now. Go splash. Yes. Look at how sick that is. I love seeing curved screens like that. Of course. Always cool seeing environments like this, and then just the cruise ships looming over the horizon. You can see them from pretty much every part of Nassau. Very beautiful. Look at how blue that water is. No, give us a wave, beautiful. Oh, nothing but sarcasm and sass from her, I see. There is always a McDonald's everywhere. Okay, well, I think this is probably as far as we go. And maybe we walk back now. That's all the time we have. Too bad. So that's the half hour or so that we have available walking around, seeing a little bit of the nicer part of town than the part that I saw when I last came through here. But sometimes that's how it goes. It's nice to be in Nassau at all, rather than, you know, back home in the same city that I've been in my whole life. Ooh, look, a church. I love churches. It's kind of a stinky church though. It's so colorful. Everything's so nice. I'm being summoned. Hello again. This is a closing note to talk about the shitstorm that my night became. It's the same day we're in Nassau overnight, and I lost my ID card, and so I don't have the time to talk about it now because I have people in my cabin. But I should talk about what happened and shooting Chandelier and friends and social drama and everything that happened there. But I'll talk about that another time. This is just closing notes. Oh, there's a hand. Hello. Wow. So nice. Very age appropriate. Naturally, that time is now. I don't remember anything special about Chandelier or social drama. I do, however, remember being traumatized about my ID. So I've shown in past videos that I have an ID that I keep on my hip. It's my badge, it's my key card, it's everything. My livelihood depends on that credit card sized piece of plastic with my face on it. And I lost it in Nassau. Specifically, the entire case that I have on my waist. And it has like it had an SD card full of photos that I had taken across. Here's some of those photos. I lost all of that. It broke off and fell somewhere in Nassau. It was just gone. I came back to the cruise ship. I went to sign in to pass through security and I didn't have anything on me. And I have never felt such intense dread in my life because I'm sitting there thinking that it's over for me, that like I'm gonna be left here. And what ended up happening is we're lost. It was gone, and a passenger found it on the ground, returned it to security, and then security found me, and they gave it to me because they know who I am. Everyone knows who I am because I was the only Canadian on board. I was like a unicorn walking around because, again, most people are from India or South Africa or the Philippines. Those are the really big demographics. Occasionally you get people from England or America that are in like the fancier jobs like performance or in the spa. But to have somebody on the base level like me as a photographer is so incredibly rare. And so security knew exactly who I was, which is why they let me on the ship to tell my manager that I lost my key card and why they knew where I was to get it back to me once it was found. So one of the most stressful experiences of my life, but it all worked out in the end. And then like 2 days later, I fucked up again. So, the warning. This happened Friday, August 18th. Me and this beautiful girl, Carol, went out into Bermuda together. We spent the day at the beach, hung out. It was a good time. And on our way back, I thought that the all-on-board time for crew was 4 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock. Now, ships are very, very strict, and they have very high consequences when you break rules. This rule, particularly, is very important, and that's be on board when you're told to. Generally, just do everything that you're told to. Don't question it, and if you break it, you get punished severely. And this is why in past videos, very notably my New York, both part 1s and 2, I was panicking so much to try to get back to the ship, because if I knew if I was late, especially in an American port, at least here, It was Bermuda, and Bermuda is a little bit more lenient. If you're late on an American port, you're subject to American laws, and you just get like executed immediately. It's terrible. Never be late for anything on a cruise ship, whether it's your job, your curfew, your back all on board time. Just always be aware of the time. Always check what time it is. Whether you are a passenger or crew, the ship will leave you behind. Never be late for anything. So the all-on-board time was 2 o'clock. We were 5 minutes late. I think we were actually 4 minutes late, but it doesn't matter. The point is, 2 o'clock went around. We were not on the ship. Boom, automatic warning. And a warning is not as big of a deal for me because I'm at the end of my contract and I'm not coming back. But for my new hire, Carol, it's a bigger deal because it means that she can't get promoted in like the next year. She can't change positions. You're on strike to get another warning. You get watched more closely. It becomes an issue. You become basically like a problem child. It's basically like you're on house arrest or on parole. If somebody wanted to have a career in the cruise industry and they got a warning their first contract, like within the first month of their first contract, your life is just over. So it was a really big deal. This is a severe incident for the cruise ship. And my team, God, my manager was so pissed. My roommate was pissed. Because now you've broken a rule. And so we would have made it on time. We just were walking back from the beach slowly, and then we got caught in line behind all the guests trying to get on board for their onboard time because the ship is leaving port, and it was kind of an issue. So we had some difficulty with that. Paperwork involved, management, my manager wasn't happy with me, and it was completely my fault too. So I felt really bad about that. There's been some other bumpy issues happening lately, but that's what the security officer was referencing in regards to, you've been having a bumpy week. I've had a hard time and I've got the warnings and I'm the only Canadian on board and everybody knows who I am. So having something like that happens, it makes me look bad. It makes the team look bad. My roommate's really pissed at me. He's like, you're gonna get yourself fired, you idiot. Yeah, it's just kind of everyone disappointed all around. So anyway, mistakes happen, you learn from it and move on. There's not much more that we can do about it. And just be better. Ultimately in life, whether it's on a cruise ship, your job, your passions and dreams and aspirations, I believe we should always seek to be better. And sometimes in moments we're not enough, and that isn't a reason that we should stop and keep going. It's a reason to push on and keep going regardless. On a lighter note, I want to share with you guys, I got a box. I got the whole Reese's box from the crew market. She gave me the whole box. I just dumped out all the Reese's that were inside. I got 2 of them myself. There were like 8 or 10 more and I dumped them and I'm like, hey, can I have the box to store all my stuff with? This is my haul for the week. 3 things of Pringles, Tic Tacs, some soda, some Red Bull, chocolate bars. I will not eat these snacks. I still have a bunch more snacks down there somewhere. But it was opened and I'll get stuff when I have the opportunity. Because of our typical schedule as crew, it's really hard to go to the crew store on board to buy things like candy or cosmetics. So often you end up going to buy things during your shift. And the managers don't encourage this, but also if you're like, I'm going to the cruise store, it's opened, they'll just ask you to pick them up a Red Bull. They don't tell you not to because it's so hard to find a time period where you're not working and they're open because their hours are pretty erratic. So when it's open and when I get the opportunity, I will stock up for a couple weeks like this. With that, I'm going to end the video here. Take a look at everything that I've got in front of me now. Feel free to leave a comment guessing how much all of this cost in US dollars. I would say underestimate because for me it's very cheap. I'm like, I can get a single chocolate bar, like a can of Pringles and a Red Bull, or maybe the 2 cans and a Red Bull cost as much as everything that I have here. And it's pretty much the same budget I spent about a week. So consider what my weekly budget for snacks would be and how much you can get for a few cans of Pringles and a Red Bull. And that's how much this cost. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching this video. I hope you're having a great day and a great week. And until next time, I'm gonna see ya. Bye-bye. I'm pretty sure it was like $15 total for all of that stuff. The chocolate bar is cents on the dollar, especially with the crazy inflation that we're dealing with now, especially in Canada. A can of Pringles would be like $13 and that whole haul was like $15.